and works in the other.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I never thought about that till just now. That's interesting.
Hey, I feel good when I help and bring something out for you.
That's interesting.
So with that being said, how have you? And I love that you mentioned you went to school for business. From a financial aspect, what have you gained or learned as you've started your entrepreneurial journey? Was there anything specifically about budget, credit? I don't want to lead you or guide you, but just anything in the realm of finance that you got better at or learned or picked up, or somebody even told you. Because I'm big on mentors, having people in spaces that you want to occupy, so that way they can give you a lot of life lessons and prevent you from making some earlier mistakes that you can avoid. So
I really wish I had that, because doing business and like learning what I'm learning, I learned that I knew nothing about finance. You hear me? I knew nothing about finances. But I'm grateful for that, because I made so many mistakes that I'm so careful now.
Right.
And I didn't have mentors on a financial side, but I do now.
Okay.
And I had to really like bump my head so much to learn, because I'm a producer. So I just wanted to produce. Right. And I would just dump all of my money. Like I would have, if I could count how much money I've dumped into productions and not made anything back, or lost money, because I had no idea what it meant to like budget. Mind you, I'm like 19. I'm like 18 to 19 when I'm first starting my production career. So I'm like a kid, literally. And I didn't realize how important finances were to running a business. I'm just like, as long as I can produce, and make these things happen, people are going to buy tickets, people are going to spend money, and no, that's not how that goes.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, I love you sharing that, because that's been a testament to the mission I've been on, which is getting to our youth early. So shout out to me. If anyone is doing any nonprofits or schools or organizations, I love to come in to get them exposed to things they need to think about before they get to college, so they can start taking their finances real seriously. Because how many of us get into entrepreneurship and think we want to do artistic anything, paintings, doesn't matter what your level of art is. But a lot of times when I hear people from in the entrepreneurial space, they have a passion for whatever their business is going to be, but they don't have the business acumen, and they're not pouring into resources to get the business acumen. They just think, oh, I'm going to sell the crap out of this or whatever the product is. But how further along would you be if you poured a little personal development into the business acumen? Now you're not oblivious to, maybe I should take a job where it's paying me something. It might, or I should budget everything I'm expending. So now at the end of the month, I can calculate where all my money's going. Simple little things like that is, so you kind of bring credence to that. Because that's kind of the mission I've been on.
That can save you. Like just knowing little things like budgeting can save you. Credit can really save you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's funny, because as Black people growing up, you know what I mean, a lot of the times we're told to stay away from credit. Like my grandmother, run from credit cards. Oh, don't take out no credit cards. If I would have known better, listen, I'm telling you, just because I'm like, when I was young and I was first taking out my first couple of credit cards, had I known how to play the credit game, I could have took them credit cards out, either use them bare minimal or just let them sit. For sure. And just have like good standing credit cards for a long time and have built my credit for all this time.
Absolutely.
But I didn't know. I didn't know. It could have been like 10. I think I got my first little credit card when I was like 18, 19.
Oh, yeah. That's when they start to prey on you.
Yes. And they know you don't know.
Exactly. And again, if we're in the school systems very early, as soon as you go to college, you get those first solicitations in the mail. You're not scrambling to make a decision and not understand fully the decision you're making. So I love that.
Because you get excited. You think like when you're a child, like, and I didn't realize until I'm still very young. I'm 28.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm still young. So, but when I was 16 and 18 and 19, I'm thinking that I was grown. When I was 21, I really thought I was grown. And I didn't realize like that I'm still so young and like naive. And open to learning stuff until I got to this age, you know, and I still feel like a baby. Like there's so much that I have to learn, but there's no, when you're like 19 years old and you open up a credit card approval or something like that, you can't tell the difference between credit and a gift card.
Correct.
You think, oh, I got $300 on this
free money.
I'm gonna run it up at Target.
Like, because I know full-fledged adults who don't read fine print. So I know you as a youth are not reading the details. Mm-hmm. You're not looking at that annual percentage yield. You're not paying attention to any of those details unless you've had that education prior to, you know, experiencing that. So
even if you read it, you're not going to know what it means.
Correct.
The only part that you know what it means is $300 on this card.
Yep.
That's it.
Hey, I'm about to go get these J's or whatever, you know, whatever you into.
Thank God I never been a Jordans girl ever. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I ain't never blew no money on that. But my stuff was like, I've always been kind of girly. So it's been like lashes.
Oh, yeah, I got you. We all got our vices.
Listen, jewelry, stupid stuff when I was a kid, you know.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's it.
So I love that. So as we started to get to, you said your third studio, what kind of, if you don't mind sharing, what kind of took place with the first two that you know, went wrong or didn't go to the way you expected, to ultimately get you to where you're at now with your third one?
That's perfect. And I'm not even gonna lie, I don't want to sit here and say that I don't still struggle with this today. But the first one, I lost it due to finances. I was young. I was paying something. I wasn't even paying anything super expensive, but I was a kid. I didn't really have a job. I was still in college.
Gotcha.
I was using refund check money.
Got you.
Yeah.
So the income you had coming in wasn't calculated to.
No, I was, and then even I'm not gonna lie to you. I was making money, but I didn't know how to manage it. I was spending money faster than I was making it. You know what I mean? So it's like I ended up, you know, losing that space, or I gave it up. I didn't like get evicted or nothing. I just gave it up. I was like, you know what? I just ain't gonna do this no more because I don't really know how I'm gonna pay for it all the time. So once that happened, what else happened? With the second one, it was just impulse. Like, I am a very impulsive person. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to finances, that can be such a hindrance because you'll see something, you feel like, oh, this can be so convenient for this. This can be.
You think about all the pros.
Exactly. You don't take the time to think because you're impulsive. You just act right on it. So that's something that I still struggle with today.
No, and honestly, what I love about what you're saying is, first and foremost, none of us are finished products. Yeah. I still run into that some of myself. Yeah. And I'm in the, you know, financial industry. And it's like, we as a people, Black people, need to be comfortable saying what our faults are. So that way, how can I give you suggestions or tips or advices if you're not willing to share with me with your lack of knowledge or what you don't know? And sometimes we're embarrassed, or, you know, we worried about what people think of us, so we don't say what we're really struggling with. And, you know, again, that's a narrative I would love to see changed. Like, I'm not judging you because you don't know how to manage your money right. We already know generations of our people were never given any type of financial education. So therefore, you know, we don't know. And, you know, we got to cut that embarrassment so that way now, you know what, if somebody, if I see young Black male, Black or female, and they say they don't know how to manage their money, not judging. Hey, you know what? Let me give you a tool or an app or whatever resonates with them in their life. So now they can start implementing things, build a foundation. So now they can be better. So,
and we talked a little before this, and I was telling you one of the things that I feel like helped me out the most in my journey is mindset. Like, because what you're speaking on right now is just like pride, people caring about perception. You know, and that's all a mindset thing. I've learned very quickly that I only want to look stupid once. You know? So it's like if I can ask a question and I might feel like, oh, this might be a dumb question. After I ask it and I learn it, I won't have to ask it again. You know, so it's like never being afraid to learn and realizing that you're never ever going to be done learning. Ever. Like, that's a mindset thing. You know, just wanting better and being willing to do whatever you have to do to get better.
Right.
So even if that's like asking a stupid question or something you think might be stupid, or you know what I mean, just being open to learning, being humble, my God, because listen.
Yeah, and I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. She occupies the audio, video space and editing space. I'm new to this. So as soon as we got together, I was like, hey, what you think about this? Fix the lighting. What you think about the camera angles? And again, you know, obviously I'm only as good as the equipment that I have access to. So if anybody wants to be a sponsor, please.
I know that's right. Okay.
But you know, I'd be dumb not to ask someone who occupies this space regularly and more so than me, to give me advice and feedback. And I'm not afraid to say, you know what? I've been doing this podcast the best I can with the resources that I have at my disposal. Sure, is it a finished product? By no means. But if you can give me any tips or advice, I'm a sponge, because my greatest strength, and I tell this to a lot of people, is I know what I am weakest at. I know my fault. I know my flaws, and I know my faults, and I know that the only way to get better is to lean on others to be able to educate me and help me get better. So if you have that problem, I recommend you think about that.
Yeah, that's one of excuse me, that's one of the greatest strengths you can have, is to know when to ask questions and just know that you don't know everything.
Right.
Like I was telling you, I was like, this is your show. Like I don't know everything. Even though I've been doing this for a while, this is such an ever-changing thing.
Right.
Quality is always getting better. Yep. Lighting is always getting better. Yep. Audio is always getting better. We got all these different little gadgets. Like we didn't really have these like this. You know what? Yeah, just a few years ago when I was in college, like everything was different. Like before, we would have a big old camera with a big old you know, the microphone
the boom,
thing.
the boom mics.
The boom mic. Yes. Yeah. So it's like, this stuff is getting so just different. Platforms are different. Everything is wonderful. I believe in production, as long as you just continuously do it and keep working on your craft, it's perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Actually, you led me to what I wanted to talk to you about.